I still feel like I'm the younger, fresher fighter, and I gain nothing but experience from the fight. I'm expecting a hard fight, so you want to make sure that you're well equipped to do so, and you've done everything in training to make sure that you're able to withstand the hard shots, able to withstand the intensity you're going to have to go through in there. I've got my family next door, little kiss and a cuddle, and then I've got my team in my annex, which is strictly busy. Like, we're really separated. I've got my own gym here, I've got my own hyperbaric, infrared bed, sauna outside, all my recovery. My chef lives 2 minutes up the road. I fly my coaches in. That's all money. But I want the best. I want to give myself every best opportunity I can in order to be victorious, or give people the fight of the century.
Where's the actual work start?
Me and him are very different in that terms. I mean, see me with Tony, I'll see my career through with Tony. There's that bond and relationship there. Like, you know, every time you lose a fight and a hard fight, you don't just switch coaches. In my opinion, for me, you got me to the level where I'm at now. My team are my team. Do you know what I mean? Through and through. Same people. I ain't got nobody different right around me. All the same people. Everyone's saying I'm out of my depth serum and we get knocked out. Am I delusional, or are they right? And what am I missing? Because I'm looking at him going, yeah, I fancy my challenges. In fact, I'm a fighter. So I don't look at him as no threat. It takes two to tango. And I appreciate him for bringing that fight out in me. I mean, it feels like everything's just written. It stars. I think the power of speaking things into the universe is real. Yeah, I can't lose the weekend. It's hard, but it's not my main fuel. I mean, it's all gang to it. Whereas then you got me on the other hand, flip side, which is very emotional, very intense. Conor, this is my life. I'm based my pride and confidence on my level of hard work. Not because I'm God gifted, not because I'm explosive genetics, or not because I take all the pride and the self-belief from my hard work. I outwork everybody. With modern day gladiators, I don't respect nobody who goes in there and just wants to nick it on points. I want to win in spectacular fashion, or go out giving it everything I got.
Maybe you can't afford to switch up. Do you know what I mean? That's why we're getting mentally prepared. It's hard, like you said, it's harder in here than it is in the ring.
But then Thursday, 12 steps, killer. By the end of the week, you just like,
I got them tomorrow.
You were like dreaming, weren't you?
I skipped the sprints. He's getting
still dreaming. He was dreaming about me running.
I skipped the sprints, but I got them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Heartbreak. Chris, he's hitting hard. He hit me today. I nearly went to sleep. Don't be getting, yo, listen, he's gonna.
I knew it. I thought I said.
Nah, listen, honestly, 15th of November, it's on. So be ready. My boys ready.
Listen to him, bro. Listen to him. That's right. Come on. Easy work.
Conor Benn has officially begun his final preparation for the upcoming rematch with Chris Eubank Jr. Yet Frank Smith explained that Conor Benn will enter this bout with greater composure and maturity, emphasizing that experience has shaped him and he now deals with pressure much more effectively.
But I think going into this fight, Conor, like you say, much more calm, relaxed. He's been here. He's done it. He's been in in that environment now, but at the same time, Chris is going to come better. You've seen it. You know, again on his camp, you've seen the posts he's been putting up. So you're going to see a better version of both of them. It's like, but how much did the last fight take out of Chris? How much did the last fight? Conor's much younger than Chris. You know, you can play it every which way. But I think that the fact that Conor is now much more composed is going to be much better for him in the fight.
Additionally, Eddie Hearn stated Benn appears stronger and more complete at 160 pounds, noting his thicker frame and noticeable boost in power.
Like up now at 160, he just looks thicker. You know, he's got, you know, his waist looks bigger, his legs look bigger, his trunk looks bigger. And I was just really impressed with, I mean, I've got to say, not met many people in boxing that work as hard as Conor Benn. Phenomenal athlete, incredible work ethic. But just a smartness about his work and a maturity about his work. And I've always felt that he can beat Eubank, but I left that gym feeling really, really confident that he beats Eubank. And listen, Eubank was surprised in that first fight. There was no doubt about it. He got the shock of his life. And he will be working very hard with Bomac and the team. And I expect a better Chris Eubank. But Conor was poor last time. He knows that. Tony knows that. Like he can be so much better than that. And I really believe he's going to get this performance right. I really believe he's going to win the fight.
Jamie Moore pointed out Eubank Jr.'s advancing age and the long years spent in boxing, adding that making weight has become increasingly difficult for him.
The big point for me Eubank's age, miles on the clock, making weight. There's a lot of questions there in the context of, but I'm talking from experience here now. When you get to that stage of your career, I actually never got to that stage in terms of that level where Eubank's been, but I mean like miles on the clock. When you go to the well, and you go to the well, there's a point where you go, fuck, there's no water here, and at some point Eubank's going to get there. And I feel like towards the end of that fight last time, he was running on empty, and in all honesty, Conor Benn really started to go through the gears at the end, and fair play, Eubank clung on and he did enough and he won the fight fair and square. But at some point, where's he going to go? I'm going to the well, and the making weight and the rehydration clause and the relentlessness of Ben, will that get into play? Because he might get to round 4 and 5 and it starts getting tough and he goes, what the fuck am I doing here again under these circumstances? And also you got to take into account Conor, he's younger, he's got more growth in terms of learning lessons, so he's probably improved from the first fight. So then you've got to be thinking, if he has improved, that's probably enough. If you sort of get the balance right of Conor's improved from the first fight and learned the lessons, and as it took a lot out of Eubank, then for me it brings it back to level playing field again. So it remains to be seen, but it's a hell of a fight.
Tim Bradley predicted that Ben could stop Eubank if he fights intelligently, suggesting he move laterally, stay calm, and deliver sharp shots down the center instead of stepping straight back.
Conor Benn can knock him out. Conor Benn can knock him out in the rematch. Oh yeah. Couple things he gotta do though. You know, boxing 101, man, when you're fighting a taller guy, you never want to step back in straight lines. You want to exit the sides. He stepped back in straight lines. He allowed Eubank to extend with those long arms, so he's getting caught on the end of his shots a lot of the times. Another thing, early on, got too reckless. You got to be more reserved, my man. Act like you've been there before. You got to control those emotions. All right, a lot of swinging, a lot of wild swinging, a lot of energy wasted early that you could have had on the back end and you could have finished stronger, but you didn't. You waste a lot of energy swinging that air. Mad, intense. Hey, controlled aggression. That's what it got to be, Conor Benn. Controlled. Another thing. Straight punches. Straighten your shots out, man. You had a lot of success when you was letting those punches just fly right from the chin. 1, 2, right down the middle. Yeah, you was landing that right hand. See, there's a big mistake that a taller guy makes, like Eubank Jr. And what he does is he throws a jab from mid-range. That's a big no-no. You can't be doing that. He throws a jab from mid-range. Even when he got the range and the height and the reach, he's still stepping in, closing the gap. And that's the perfect opportunity for Conor Benn to load up with a big right hand. He did it occasionally. He caught him with it. Yes, you know, he caught him with it. However, a lot of wide shots over the top.
Johnny Nelson gave a straightforward view of the rematch, saying Eubank will give it everything but hasn't demonstrated much progress. He added that if Eubank had the ability to stop Ben before, he would have, speaking volumes about the matchup.
Chris will give himself every possible chance that's going, but in reality, you know, personally, I just think the last performance of Chris, I thought you've got nothing left. There's no more improvement on what I'm seeing there. And I know there was a weight issue and all the build up to it. I thought there's no more improvement there.
Does that mean you think do you think Conor Benn will be better in the second fight?
Yes.
Does that mean that you think that by him being better and there's no more left from Chris Eubank, that Conor Benn's able to bridge the gap and get an outcome in his second fight?
Without a doubt.
You do?
He couldn't have done any more. If he could have knocked out Conor in that fight, he would have done. He just couldn't get rid of him. And Conor stuck it. So regardless of him being surprised that Conor stuck it out a lot more, he couldn't get rid.